Hello, Guardians. It is Ebontis here, and it is time for the Titans to defend their honor. Guardian Games of 2021 is kicking off on Tuesday, April 20th. It runs through the end of the season on May 11th. So let's talk about the changes to Guardian Games from last year, how you can help to push your class to the top, and some things you might want to make note of to make sure you get the most of every piece of this event. Here we go.
The last time we did this, my Titans achieved what can only be described as a blowout.
The battle lines have been drawn.
Now we will see fireworks.
This is amazing.
Yes, use the large gun. Right now.
So the first thing to note, Guardian Games is going to be free to everybody. So if you have the free copy of the game or any version of it, this is a free event for every single person. So you can represent your class even if you haven't bought the game. So don't worry about that. It's going to be based around an event playlist mostly and stuff like that we'll get to, but it is free to everyone. The big thing from last year was all about how Titans, everybody thought they cheated or turned in too many medals or whatever it was. They showed the statistics, it just ended up being that way. Now, a lot of people thought it was because the bounties and things for Titans were easier to complete, so more people just went to that class to get the most accomplished. Either way, they're changing the way the class ranking and kind of weight is going to work. Basically, there is no weighting. So there are more hunters generally in the population that probably get played on an active basis. That being said, whichever class comes in third each day is going to get a 10% bonus on scoring. And it's just going to continually accumulate. It's 10% on day one. If the same class has that thing on day two, it's another 10%. And it's slowly going to start evening out the classes over the course of 3 weeks. So say Titans are in last in the beginning because there's a lot more hunters playing at first because they want to win. Well, Titans are going to start to have more weight in their direction. Now, I don't know, and I haven't read it somewhere, so if somebody has seen this, please correct me. I haven't seen somewhere that you have to commit to a certain class, but I thought I had read that somewhere previously from maybe some leaked information that you have to commit to one of your 3 classes if you have multiples. So if you do, then this obviously works very well. Otherwise, if you play one class for a while, they're sandbagging or something, and you switch over and go hard on the other one. Hopefully you do actually have to pick one class. We'll just have to see how it goes. But the idea is whichever class is in third place gets a 10% bonus to scoring every day. And it's a daily accumulation. So if you're in third place for 7 days in a row, you should have 10% bonus for each one of those days tacked on. So theoretically a 70% bonus. It's going to be a lot after a while. So they said everything in their testing by data should even things out fairly well to make it fairly competitive. We'll just have to see how it goes. Now, how do you actually earn standing and points for all of this, bronze, silver, and gold situation for Guardian Games? Well, it's all going to be based around the medals that you turn in to Eva Levante. When this thing starts, you're going to go to Eva. She's going to kick off the quest, as she always does. She's going to give you a medal case, like a display case, basically. And that's going to store your medals. The thing to know about that, it does have a capacity limit on each type. So if any type is full, whether it be gold, silver, bronze, or platinum, for example, if that capacity is full and you earn a medal in that category that is already full, say the capacity is 5 gold medals, you already have 5 stored, and then you do something that gets you a 6th one, that 6th one goes out into the ether and is lost. Same thing goes for triumphs. If you are full in a certain category and say you completed a triumph, you did the 100 kills or whatever, and it's going to give you a gold, and your gold capacity is full. If you click on that triumph and complete it, that medal, again, is going to be lost to the ether. So pay attention to the capacities. If you have a lot of triumphs to turn in, pay attention to what you're clicking on, watch your capacities. Just make sure you don't lose medals by, having a full medal case. So just keep in mind, I don't know what they're going to be. I don't know if it's going to be 5 or 500, but just one of those things you want to make note of so you don't lose medals. Pay attention to the capacities and watch what you're picking up so you just don't lose extras, especially triumphs, because they're only going to be a one-time thing. You can go do strikes until you're blue in the face, but triumphs are going to be a one-time. So specifically make sure that when you're going to turn that one in, your medal case is empty. You're not going to lose them. Just be safe on that one. So the medal case is going to store 4 different types of medals. Bronze, which are going to be worth 1 point. Silver, which are going to be worth 2. Gold, which are going to be worth 5. And platinum, which are going to be worth 15 points. Now, the medals themselves are going to be earned mostly from contender cards. You're going to be using likely the Laurels that you earn throughout the game. It's the similar as last year. Laurels are these little like tokens that you pick up on the ground. They look kind of like the moats in the Prophecy Dungeon and Gambit. They were just colored. And the Laurels themselves drop off of other players when they're doing activities. So you'll be picking those up all over the place. If you pick them up of the same class type, you have a chance to earn bonus. So playing with like a whole group of Titans is going to be beneficial for each other. We'll get to that here in a second. But the Laurels, which is that currency that you're going to accumulate, you'll have a lot of them. I wouldn't worry too much about having enough. You'll accumulate a lot of that as you go. You'll be using those to buy these contender cards. So for the gold contender cards, or at least to get a gold medal from a contender card, it's based around Strikes, Crucible, and Gambit. For the platinum ones, these are going to be the top dogs. Remember, they're worth 15 points instead of the gold that are 5. These are going to be based around Trials, Survival, which is the competitive playlist, and then Nightfalls. These actually will earn you a special all-star status. I'll get back to that in a minute. But you're going to want to do a platinum of some kind basically before the Friday of each week. Basically before Zur arrives on Friday at like 10 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, you're going to want to do something that gets you a platinum, whether it's, a certain number of Nightfalls, whatever it is, to try and get your, all-star status over the weekend. Basically, I think it's just for a glow, but if you do want that, it is going to basically check that on Friday and then hold over till the next Friday. So we'll get to that ceremony here in just a little bit. But the contender cards are going to be the ways to do the bigger medal activities, and you're going to be buying those from Eva for the Laurels, so just go out and do a whole bunch of things. Now, the Laurels themselves are going to be dropping all over the place. If you do Crucible and Gambit matches, you're going to be awarded some Laurels at the end. If you're running around doing other things in the world, you'll probably get them all over the place. One thing to make note is there is a new playlist. And this is going to be Guardian Games Strike playlist. Now, what this is going to do is group players together by class. So if I'm a Titan, for example, I'm going to go into the Guardian Games Strike playlist with 2 other Titans. It's just going to match me up with 2 Titans. There's enough of us out there. You're always going to match up with 2 others of your same type. So that's going to assist in the Laurel collection. So it is probably a good place to stock up on some Laurels by playing through there because, the same class has a chance to give you bonus. So if I pick up 1 of the same type, I might get 2 or 3 or however that bonus works. Now, the thing about the Guardian Game Strike playlist, it's going to have modifiers based on a couple of things. The previous day's standing is going to give you benefit, but also apply negative modifiers depending on what class you are. So the bonus modifiers are going to be as follows. If the previous day your class, say Titans, finished as gold, then you're going to get a bonus to health, shields, and recovery, and your kinetic weapons are going to do more damage. So your kinetics will be a good use. You're a bit more tanky. Then you've got silver. If you finished in second place, your melee abilities recharge faster, elemental damage is increased from guardian sources, and more heavy ammo is available. So not too bad, pretty generous modifiers. If you got bronze, grenade ability deals more damage and recharges faster. Elemental damage is increased from guardian sources across the board. So you'll probably basically have Grenadier on chunking grenades the entire time. Means you're probably going to be a little more efficient that day. But on the other side, you have negative modifiers. Say you did get gold. Yes, you get more health, shields, and recovery. But on the other side, you're going to get the 2 modifiers of the other classes. And basically the way that works, say Hunters finished in gold, Titans in silver, and then bronze was Warlocks, for example. Don't, read too much into that. If, say, the Hunters were gold, and they go into that Strike playlist, they're going to have 2 modifiers applied to them. So if the Titan was silver, they're going to have the modifier that the combatant melee attacks deal more damage. And then if the Warlock was bronze, then they're going to have increased incoming damage while airborne. So the silver ones are usually increased. So the Warlock, if it was bronze, they have the incoming damage increased while airborne. So those Hunters are taking more damage while airborne. If the Titans were silver, then combatant melee attacks deal significantly more damage to the Hunters in that playlist. And it's going to change every day. So this may be a little confusing, but basically when you go to the Guardian Games playlist for strikes, you're going to see what the modifiers are after the first day, depending on who got bronze, silver, and gold. And it's going to adjust accordingly depending on who wins each day. So seems like it could be a fun playlist. At least it's going to feel a little different depending on who's winning and losing. So that should be fun overall. And if nothing else, if you almost got gold, but you didn't quite get there, then, you're going to make it more difficult on the other classes. It's probably not going to be that detrimental, I would imagine. but we'll just have to see how this plays out. Overall, at least it's kind of cool to see that, you know, if your class didn't do great, you don't have anything working against you, and yet the gold class has everything working against them possible. So overall, kind of fun, kind of cool. I like what they're doing there for a strike playlist, but the other side of this, it is a strike playlist. So keep that in mind. You're going to be spending some time in strikes. So if you like them, cool. If they're not your thing, it's going to be probably a struggle of an event. All right, so that covers the medal case, where you're going to store your medals, your contender cards, which are going to be used for trials and strikes and gambit. You're going to be picking those up and buying those from Eva to, you know, work on earning medals. And then you've got your weekly ceremony. So as I was talking about, on Friday, there's going to be a weekly podium ceremony. And basically, it's going to award who is gold, silver, and bronze. Now, mostly what that is going to do is give your class item for Guardian Games a glow to match your, basically, your status. If you got gold, you get a gold glow. If you got bronze, you get a bronze glow. Pretty simple and straightforward. If you did a platinum, if you turned in a platinum medal during that time frame before the podium ceremony, like within the past week, you're going to get a platinum glow, which is probably going to be something closer to white, basically, and that's going to be considered your all-star status. So that's where that comes into play. Mostly a glow, but again, if you're trying to help out your class, you do want to try and do a platinum. I don't know if you can do one of those a week, probably, or I'm guessing there's probably not a ton of those that you could do, but overall, platinum will get you that all-star status and that platinum glow. Should be a cool look, just have to see how that one turns out. So that is the weekly podium ceremony, basically establishing the glow on your class item. And the class item is what makes this whole thing work. When you talk to Eva, you're basically going to be getting a class item for whichever class you're playing as, and that's going to be something you have to wear to be able to earn laurels and to be able to get progress on your bounties. So you're basically just going to slap this class item on and leave it there for the course of the week. That's the main thing. Put the class item on, leave it there, and forget about it, because you're going to want that thing just to be stuck there. Now, I don't know if you have to masterwork a new class item, because we'll just have to see how it works. So you can have, like, you know, full functionality of mods or whatever it is you're doing. You may have to masterwork that class item. I don't know. Again, we'll just have to see. But you do have to wear that class item to get laurels to drop and everything else to function. So maybe don't go run it in a Grandmaster if normal Nightfalls will qualify, so you don't have to masterwork it. We're just going to have to wait and see. But again, it's very important. Wear the class item for the course of the event. Anytime you're doing bounties, trying to go pick up laurels, anytime you're doing, like, the metal stuff should probably work without it, but just basically slap it on and forget about it for the whole thing, because you're going to want to make sure you're not missing out on anything for the event. All right, finally, you're wondering, why am I going to do Guardian Games this year? Is it compelling? Is it not? Well, it depends on if you're a new player or if you've been around. Your awards that you're going to be able to get are the Guardian Games Ghosts. They're the same ones as last year. So if you've seen those before, you earned them all last year. You don't need to earn them again. You're going to be able to get a new Sparrow that comes from total class points acquired, as well as triumphs that you need to accomplish. So that's actually a pretty cool looking ghost. I kind of like the sleek shape of it, but that's kind of the exotic Sparrow for the event. Also, you're going to be able to earn the Heir Apparent. If you didn't earn it last year, you're going to be able to earn it again through a quest. And if you did already acquire the weapon, you are actually going to be able to earn a catalyst, and this time it's going to be a possibility to drop by turning in gold or platinum medals if you own the gun already. So you have to earn the gun first, and then you need to earn the platinum or gold medal. So if you haven't earned the weapon at first, my advice, see what the quest requires, work through the quest. Depending on how long it is, you might, you know, hold off a day or two on turning like a gold medal in for like a weekly time period, especially when it comes to reset, because, you know, when you turn those things in, once you own the gun, then at least you'll have a chance to earn them. So my advice is, if you don't have the weapon yet, figure out what the quest takes, and we'll just have to see what that involves. Try and knock that out first before you start turning in platinums and golds, so you get more chances at the catalyst during this event. Other than that, that pretty much covers it. You've got some other items that are going to come from Eververse. You've got some different ghosts. You've got a couple ships, a Sparrow. You're going to have emotes and a couple shaders. You've also got a universal ornament set for each class. So I'll kind of be flashing these throughout the screen as I've been talking about this. There's some cool ones. I like the tennis ball. I like the little, you know, Gatorade water bottle thirst quencher thing. So you've got a couple looking ones in there. I have no idea what the emotes are. We haven't seen those yet. But overall, I mean, it's a fun event. It just kind of depends on how much you really care about supporting your class. If you're into Destiny right now and you're playing all this stuff anyway, you may as well get all the bonuses from it. And the bonuses also come in the way of bonus XP. So Eva's going to have her bounties as she usually does. The weekly is going to give you XP, Bright Dust, and Glimmer, as well as Laurels. So it's a good chunk of Laurels once you get that. The dailies will give you XP as usual, and the repeatables will give you XP and Bright Dust. If you're still trying to grind out some Bright Dust, you should be able to earn some there as well. But that basically covers everything. We're going to have the weekly podium ceremony, basically on Friday to kind of commemorate the previous week. There is going to be some actual Bungie store things that you can do, that you can earn. So you're going to be able to earn a track jacket from, I think, finishing enough triumphs for the event, basically checking off enough boxes for the event to be able to earn it. And then also, if you participate in the final weekend's closing ceremonies at the tower, you'll be able to purchase a gold pin that commemorates the winning class. So there's only going to be one gold pin that kind of modeled all three of them, so it really kind of depends which one wins. But whichever class wins, there's going to be one gold pin. You can choose if you want to buy it or not. Those things will unlock as long as you participate in the closing ceremonies. And again, the jacket comes from just, earning. If you unlock the exotic sparrow, sorry, see it, I knew it'd be a triumph type thing. You'd have a chance to purchase the new Guardian Games track jacket. And then the patches seem like you almost get them all, and you can kind of figure out which patch you want to honor, whether it be Titan, Warlock, or Hunter. So overall, got some fun stuff for them to do. The ornaments look cool on the Eververse armor because they're going to have a glow. The ornaments also take shaders well. They said they worked on actually having the universal ornaments take shaders and therefore affecting the glows. Seems fairly cool. Might be a fun set of armor to actually be worth buying if you want to mess around with transmog and shaders coming up next season. But that pretty much wraps it up. Guardian Games, earn Laurels. There's going to be a Guardian Games, class-specific playlist. You got the modifiers depending on who's winning and losing during the day. Go earn your medals, turn them into Eva Levante. Just keep in mind, watch your medal case. Make sure you don't go over capacity. Turn them in frequently. Just make sure you're not missing out. And other than that, have fun, guys, and may the best class win. Personal right here, we're going for Titans. If you guys are other classes, nothing against you. I just want Titans to win because that's basically my main. So if you guys are new to the channel and you enjoyed the video, drop a like below. Leave a comment if you got questions, thoughts, or just want to rep your class below. You guys can find me on Twitter and also twitch.tv/Ebontis, streaming this, Outriders, and anything else I'm playing. Started Ori and the Will of the Wisp recently, so that'll probably take a stream or two. So thank you all very much. I'll see you soon. Have a good one.